Welcome back to another episode of Numbers and Narratives. It's been a few days, hasn't it, Owen?
Yeah, it's been a little while, but we've got a few things to talk about still. It's in a bit of a stage just after the Euros, just before the Prem. So
Yeah, that weird in-between kind of phase. But we've got the Olympics as well, so that will carry us through to the start of the Premier League,
Olympics
hopefully.
so much.
Yeah, I'm excited for it.
Probably not the football as much.
Well,
but
certainly not the men's football, no.
the men's football, yeah.
Yeah.
Women's is good, but
Women's is good.
But yeah, no, Olympics, I love the Olympics. But now that I have a full-time job, I just can't sit at home and procrastinate from doing uni assignments and just watch
Vegging out on the
events.
couch, just watching random sports.
Yeah, pretending I'm an expert like I do here, but at least I've seen the sport more than once before I pretend to be an expert with this one.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm talking about in this podcast rather than the Olympics. But yeah. Anyway.
Anyway, yeah, we'll start off talking about that Euros final. Seems like we were just saying before we went on air, it seems like a long time ago, really.
Yeah, it does feel that way.
Yeah, and I think I said if England lost, we would never speak of it again. And yet here we are talking about it. But this will be the last time, hopefully.
Yeah, okay. Okay, last time. All right.
What did you think of the match? Did it go as you expected?
Well, the first half was quite boring because there wasn't really much going on. Spain was struggling to break down England while England weren't creating anything. But the second half, I thought Spain were well on top, and I was getting so confused when I was watching it live, and I was like, it seems like England is sitting back and Spain is still catching them out in transition every time. And so I actually I couldn't even pick it out during the game, so I had to after the game watch the mini match to go what happened, how are England being broken down so easily and Spain were getting caught out in space. And it was just a lot of little things that I think we said at the start of the tournament that Pickford was doing too many long balls.
Yeah.
And so Spain...
And Kane just couldn't hold them up.
Kane couldn't hold them up, and the personnel wasn't there for it. And yeah, he just likes to do it like he does at Everton, and it just doesn't work here. Like Spain's keeper, Unai Simon, only attempted 9 for the match. Jordan Pickford attempted 25 long balls, and one of Spain's best chances came from Pickford doing a long ball, and then it ended up being a quick transition for them. And England's only goal, do you know how it started?
I've honestly tried to forget about the match. So no, how did it start?
Pickford rolled it out to someone.
Yeah, right.
So
should have done more of that.
He should have done more of that. Bellingham, I thought, had a very good game in an attacking sense. But defensively, he made it, he got caught out with the ball a couple times as he tried to take on too many people, which you've been big on that he did too much. He tried to do too much of dribbling. And then Gareth Southgate actually spoke about he wanted to sub off Bellingham just before the second Spain goal.
Yeah, right.
And the first goal I think it was. And Bellingham goes to point to he points and he's supposed to pick up Carvajal, but he points to say, Luke Shaw, you should do it. And Luke Shaw gets caught in no man's land. And then Carvajal gets it to Yamal. Yamal gets it to Nico Williams, who's all by himself so he can score the goal. So Bellingham was probably a bit tired. And the second goal was a bit similar. Southgate made Bellingham a defensive midfielder, not his natural play style. And Saka didn't track Cucurella's run too well. Fabian Ruiz had too much space. And then Rao ended up scoring the winner. So
it was pretty much like his first touch of the game. After
Yeah, but he made the impact where it counted. And I think he scored an important goal in the Nations League final quite a few years ago as well.
Yeah.
So
it was
he has got that clutch gene, I guess.
It was a real soccer punch. Like, just, I don't know, England weren't in the ascendancy really, but they had just scored a few minutes before, and it kind of felt like, all right,
they could get something going.
Moment. Yeah, maybe they can get something happening. And then that Spain goal just kind of knocked the wind out of them, really.
Yeah, well, I think it's about. You said last week after Southgate was saying, "Oh, best substitution of all time." You're saying, "Oh, you thought he still took too long."
Late. Yeah,
I think he definitely was. It was too late this time.
Yeah,
because Saka seemed too tired to track one run, and before Bellingham didn't have that extra bit of energy to perhaps chase after Carvajal and instead resorted to pointing.
Yeah.
While Spain sub scored the goal that won them the game, and in the Copa America final, I don't know if you saw the triple sub.
I've heard about it, but I didn't watch the game.
Yes, they subbed on Paredes, Lo Celso, and Lautaro Martinez.
Yeah.
Paredes won the ball back, passed it to Lo Celso, passed it back to Paredes. Paredes passes to Martinez. Martinez scores.
That's some instant impact.
Yeah, so I said England got the best substitution the week before, but now I've changed my mind. It's Spain.
Yeah. Greatest substitution of all time.
Sorry, not Spain. Argentina.
Yeah, Argentina.
I know football.
Another big talking point about the game was Kane. I mean, everyone knew he was going to start, but there was a lot of people who wanted him to be dropped for the game. He started as expected, but then pretty much was taken off very early in the second half, wasn't he?
Yeah, and Watkins didn't do much better, and I mean Foden's also had similar criticisms, but probably not to the same extent. And he ended up with no goals, no assists. Foden.
I did think it was interesting that he took Kane off like so quickly in the second half. Like, it was almost if he knew he was not fit, like he was carrying an injury or something. He didn't even give him a chance.
Yeah, it is also odd that Kane probably didn't have as many minutes in the legs as other players in the team. But I guess if in the first half England were kind of just relying on they weren't really controlling the ball. They had a little bit more of the ball in the second half.
They defended well in the first half.
They defended well, but didn't get much going. So maybe they were just looking for a different option. But
and then Spain scored straight away after the restart. So.
Yeah, it's a bit of an. Yeah, I guess Southgate didn't get his subs right this time.
I feel like he would have been quite happy with the first half quietly, I think. Like the way they defended, Spain didn't really create anything. They had a lot of the ball.
Yeah, as much as England didn't either.
So it was kind of like, if this game kept going, it was like how we were talking about, the longer it stays 0-0 and goes to extra time, goes to penalties. It was kind of looking that way in the first half.
And you could rely on, England can rely on individual quality probably a bit more than Spain. Probably quite telling. Rodri gets subbed off, and I think it was Zubimendi. I'd never even heard of the guy, and he had quite a good game for Spain.
Yeah.
And Rodri was player of the tournament. But it just goes to show that they're like, a group that really mesh well, and doesn't matter if you take out one of their best players, they got someone else who can fill in.
Yeah.
Whereas England's probably more reliant on individual quality, like we saw with Palmer's goal. What a goal, by the way. Goal.
Yeah.
It passes it into the corner from like 30 yards.
Oh man, I went crazy when that went in. It was so good.
Yeah, well, we were renting a house down south, and one of my friends just screams. Jaden, friend of the podcast.
Yes.
And he's not good at keeping his voice down. And then someone's like, Jaden, like, we're renting out the house. Be quiet. It's like 4 a.m. And then he just screams again and goes, "Oh my God, it's Cole Palmer." Because he's a Chelsea fan.
Valid reaction. Yeah. No, it was insane. And Watkins got the assist, didn't he?
Bellingham.
Oh, it was Bellingham. Sorry. Yeah. Man, I just hate Bellingham so much. I'm trying to take away all credit.
He did have a good game offensively. He nearly scored a cracking goal. With just that quick turn, and it's outside the box, but just goes a little bit wide. Yeah,
that was a good moment. And then Declan Rice had that one off the line at the very end.
Oh, that's right.
It was
Danny
Rice,
Olmo.
and then it was someone else. And
Danny
Olmo cleared it off the line.
Yeah.
It was, man.
But what were your thoughts overall? Like, take me through the emotions of an England supporter through the match.
A bit of a roller coaster. The first half was, I don't know. I wouldn't say happy with it because we hadn't controlled the game. We hadn't really created anything, but I was happy that Spain weren't tearing us apart. Like, we looked competitive, just at the very least. Like, it looked like we deserved to be in the final in a way. Like, it was a good game. And not in terms of like attacking football, but like in terms of
There wasn't much in
two
it.
evenly matched teams. Yeah. And then I was thinking, this is kind of going the way Southgate kind of wants it to go defensively. And then, second half starts, Spain score straight away. I don't know how Williams had so much space. As soon as he got the ball, I was like, he's not going to miss from there.
It was a couple of little errors that ends up being a big thing.
Yeah.
And it's funny that Kyle Walker got blamed. I saw a lot on social media and there wasn't anything he could do about it. It was a 2-1 on that side. But
so then as soon as that goes in, I'm pretty down. I was down south watching this game as well. I was in Bridgetown with my girlfriend, and despite like waking her up and saying, let's go watch the game, she decided to stay in bed. And after they scored, I was like, good decision. I might come join you soon. And then, it looks like Spain were in the ascendancy. Somehow England get that equalizer back with Cole Palmer. I go crazy. I go and wake Beth up. I'm like, come on, you got to see this. It's coming home. And so she comes out. And then literally 5 minutes later, Spain score again. And back to being depressed. And I was just watching the clock wind down until we eventually got knocked out. And it was not a nice experience. I just went back to sleep in a very foul mood.
Well, you're happy that Southgate's gone, are you?
Oh yeah, I was going to talk about that. I am. I don't know. We have this football chat on Instagram, and as soon as I saw the news, I sent it to the chat, and I was like, yeah, thank God. I'm so happy about this. I don't know. What do you think about it? I know he's obviously been successful, but
I think I've spoke a bit that I rate what Southgate's done, get England to another final. So 2 finals, a semi and a quarter final in his main tournaments, and helped get England over the penalty curse, got the team together. He wasn't perfect, and he didn't play pretty football. So as someone who watches a lot of England games, it would be nice to hopefully see someone who plays a bit more interesting football play. Yeah.
I saw somewhere that I don't know how true it is, but they were trying to get Guardiola, not for the next, not immediately, but they would get a interim caretaker manager until his contract's up at City, and then try and go for him. But I don't know, it sounds optimistic.
Yeah, I think it's optimistic at best.
Yeah.
But I don't think he'd be the world's best international manager.
Just because you would need a lot of time to kind of drill his patterns of play.
Yeah. I think he's too meticulous of everything.
Yeah.
He won't be able to get things how he wants.
Just get angry and frustrated, maybe.
Just get angry, which would be fun to see.
Yeah.
But
because you think about his first season at City, it wasn't amazing. I think they started well.
True.
I think they won their first 10 or something, but
they finished up third.
Finished up third or fourth, something like that. But so it takes time for him to get that message across to the players, and also it would be interesting because he has always spent a lot of money wherever he's gone.
Can't spend money.
Can't spend the money in the international jobs, but if he had the England players, I'm sure
I think he could make it work.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's about it for the Euros, I suppose. Spain worthy winners in the end, I would say.
Deserving winners. They won they won 6 out of the 7 in regulation time and 7 out of 7 in 100, a maximum of 120.
Yeah.
So, which had never been done before. So most dominant Euros side ever.
Yeah. Yep.
Potentially.
And they had a pretty tough run as well.
A very tough run.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they were very deserving over England.
I think so. Look, football would have been coming home, but the wrong team would have won, I think, if somehow England had managed to scrape over the line. Do you want to do your team of the tournament?
Oh, my team of the tournament, that's right. So I've got Mario Marashvili, I think that's how you say it, from Georgia.
In goal.
He had far more saves than anyone else playing for Georgia. They tried to play a bit more expansive, so that meant that shots could come the other way. And statistically, he was the best keeper. He's playing in the Liga side. It's just about probably that out of the box stuff he's got to get a bit better at.
Yeah.
Who did you have in goal?
I had Pickford, which is a little controversial now after we've just been talking shit about his long balls.
Yeah.
I thought obviously England defended really well the whole tournament, which is a big contributing factor. But whenever he had a big save to make, he was actually pretty good.
He was very reliable.
Yeah.
Between the sticks. And he played 7 games, not just 4 like my player.
That's true. I think he was pretty good. He didn't really make a mistake the whole tournament in terms of giving away a goal or anything like that. Pretty reliable. His long balls weren't amazing, but I would say that's probably more to do with Kane not being able to hold them up, maybe.
Yeah, it works better at Everton. So,
but yeah, I don't have a whole I'm not super. Strong in my opinion, backing him. I think the Georgia goalkeeper is a good shout as well.
Yeah, that's fair enough. At left back, I was gonna go with Nuno Mendes from Portugal. I thought he was quite good attacking wise, but then thought Cucurella had been right there with him. And then I thought Cucurella was probably man of the match in the final, so I'll probably have Cucurella at left back.
I've gone with him as well, yeah. I don't know if you saw the little spat he had with Gary Neville over social media.
Oh, what was it that Gary Neville said Spain couldn't win because Cucurella wasn't good enough?
Before the tournament, when he was assessing Spain, he said that's one of their weaknesses in the team. It's been probably a reason why they can't win it. And then after the game, Cucurella posted something on his Instagram saying, I don't know, something about tagged Gary Neville and said we went all the way.
Well, I mean, he kept Grimaldo out the side, who got one of the most goals and assists ever from a fullback. So, I mean,
he's done well, and obviously got that assist in the final as well.
Yeah, good assist.
Yeah.
So
critical moment in the game. So got to give it to him.
My centre backs were Pepe, maybe just because I liked his reactions when he chased down a couple of players.
Yeah.
And Laporte, who's playing in Saudi Arabia, so quite out there, I guess. But he was just reliable. Shows how good City are that they could just let him go and no one knows. No one cares.
Yeah, no, that was solid. I went with Pepe as well. Just I don't know how he's still quick. He's so old, but he's still pretty quick. That is impressive.
It's impressive.
And Portugal had defended really well the whole tournament. Their main problem was just going forwards, I think. They weren't scoring.
Ronaldo couldn't put it in the net.
Yeah. So nothing on him for them getting knocked out. And then I went with Saliba as well. Saliba. He going into the tournament, I don't think Deschamps is a huge fan of him, but he ended up playing him, and I thought he did pretty well.
Yeah, it looked like Konate was going to be preferred over him, but he got the spot and kept it. So
similar to Portugal, they defended pretty well. France was
I had Koundé at right back to fill in that France quota because their defense is quite good. And I thought he performed quite well at right back, even if he didn't create much. But
I forgot to. By the way, guys, I have all my notes on my laptop, which I didn't bring the charger to. And then when I rocked up at the podcast and trying to get things started, I realized it's out of battery. So I'm doing this all off the top of my head, and I'm trying to remember who I picked for right back, and it's kind of evaded me.
Kyle Walker?
No.
Carvajal. Kimmich.
It was Kimmich. That's right.
I got there.
Yeah. I thought Kimmich was really good. Germany were pretty unlucky to go out of the tournament when they did.
Yeah, no. Well, they were the closest to beating Spain in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
And then in the midfield, did you just go with the Spanish trio?
I was close to it, but I saw Toni Kroos had 25 more line-breaking passes, which I don't actually know what that means, but it sounds really good. But apparently he had 20 more line-breaking passes than any other player. And just watching him, his passing was a bit insane. Even if defensively it was probably a little bit exploited against Spain. So I had Ruiz, Rodri, and Kroos just because Olmo didn't start all the games.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough, actually. I went with the 3 Spanish midfielders.
It was very hard to leave out Olmo.
Because, he didn't start the first few games, but when he did come on, he was really good. I don't think anyone created more goals or assists than him.
I don't think so. And he had that line. He cleared this shot off the goal line in the
Yeah.
final as well.
Yeah.
So
He's just doing everything. But yeah, Kroos had a great tournament. I remember previous podcast waxing lyrical about him.
Yeah,
so it
like-
feels a bit harsh to leave him out.
yeah, I guess it feels that long ago, the quarterfinals. So
Yeah, well forgotten about that game. Yeah.
yeah,
Lamal and Williams on the wings.
yeah. And
Yeah.
then I cheated and put Gakpo up top.
So did I. Yeah, Gakpo's up top. Even if he did go missing in that game against
He
England.
wasn't very good against England.
Yeah.
I felt bad to leave out Musiala and
Yeah.
Xhaka. I thought Xhaka was quite good for Switzerland.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So that's my team of the tournament, and
That was a pretty similar.
yeah, a lot more similar. Beforehand, we compared what our Premier League team of seasons would have looked like a few weeks ago off air, and they're a lot more different than
this one. Yeah, probably more interesting in a way.
Yeah, I guess there's only like 4. Well, I guess there's not as many teams you can pick from.
No, especially if you get knocked out earlier, it's kind of hard to leave them in. Yeah.
I was a bit lenient with the goalkeeper choice, getting knocked out in the round of 16, still putting him in.
I'm pretty happy with that. Should we move on to the Tillies, the Matildas?
I've got a dumb or not first.
Oh
if that's
yes,
okay.
dumb or not. Let's hear it.
All right. Well, it's Olympic season, right? And I don't know about you, but I hate boxing the most of any sport they have in the Olympics
Do you?
because it's
Interesting.
amateur.
Yeah. Okay.
This is supposed to be the best
Yeah.
of the best.
Yeah.
And they put in an amateur sport.
Yeah.
Well, no, sorry, not an amateur sport. The amateur version of the
yeah.
sport. You know, if you might like boxing, cool. But it's just amateur. Like, it's just
No one really cares.
exactly. It should be the peak of sport.
Yeah.
The men's side for football. I don't reckon they should have it because it's not the best of the best. The women's is the best of the best. Everyone can play. The men's it's
Under
under
23.
23, except you can have
Three. Yeah.
3 over 23s. But then the best players don't even want to play that are over 23.
Yeah.
Because they've just had the Euros or Copa America or are tired. Clubs don't let them. And yeah, I think if you look at it, every Olympics, the amount of women in it since 1936 has gone up, the female representation. This is the first one of 50%. Should keep going up.
Yeah.
Get rid of the men's one. I think which might seem unfair to some people, that should be exactly even, but we've had like 100 years where there's been a lot more men than women in the Olympics. So that's my dumb or not. Should the men's football in the Olympics be abolished? Get rid of it.
Easy one. Yeah, it's definitely not dumb. I agree. Get rid of it. Put it in the bin. I don't watch it. I'm sure you don't watch it. Maybe we'll have to because of this damn podcast.
I did have a look at the teams. Well, I looked at Argentina, and I know Alvarez is filling in, even though he's just been at Copa America and will be super tired.
Right.
So football congestion, that's another thing. There's too many games in the men's.
Yeah.
But the next most notable player I saw on the Argentinian squad was Barco from Brighton. Don't know if you know him.
I only know him because I played a FIFA career mode save, and he was like high potential. So yeah.
Well, that was the next most, and Argentina should be one of the favorites, but
yeah, it doesn't usually work out like that. And the Ollie Roos didn't even qualify, did they?
No, they didn't qualify, and that's another reason why we should
probably don't.
Because Australia didn't get in.
Yeah. To be honest, they were in it last time, and I don't think I watched a single one of their games.
I watched the mini matches for it.
Oh, that's good. Good work, Ollie.
Yeah.
You can take over the podcast.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Not super excited about the men's. Never have been, but Matildas, I am.
Yeah, so we need to be on more upbeat now. We're talking about the Tillies. Up the Tillies.
Up the Tillies. Obviously, it's been like, I think pretty much exactly a year since the Women's World Cup, where they had that amazing run. Eventually lost to England in the semi-final. And by the way, guys, I was going for the Matildas, not England. If Australia are playing England, I'll go for Australia.
That was until England were winning, and then he changed
I
sides.
switched it up. Yeah. Remember when Sam Kerr scored that crazy goal?
I was just thinking about that on the drive here.
Yeah,
because she didn't pass it. She had someone that was open. She's like, "No, I'm just gonna smash it." Yeah.
Oh, and everyone went crazy when that went in.
Yeah, it was so good.
It was like peak Australian, like
That is one of the peak Australian moments.
Yeah.
That's like, you know how England fans talk about, oh, remember when Luke Trippier scored that goal against Croatia and Luke Shaw. Sam Kerr goal.
Yeah. Oh, insane.
Even better.
Oh, absolutely.
Because it was a good goal as well.
It was a really good goal.
And it's also cool because like the nation was kind of getting to know the Tillies throughout the tournament.
Yeah.
And Sam Kerr didn't really get to play. So people didn't really have any perception of
how good she was. Like they'd heard that she was the star player, but they haven't seen her in action.
Yeah,
she comes on.
She came on and just didn't do anything.
Yeah.
And then people just be like, "Oh, Sam Kerr sucks." That would have been the discourse.
Yeah.
And then because Sam Kerr does miss a few chances.
Yeah.
Like in the Asian Cup, I actually did watch their last game. They got knocked out very early, and Sam Kerr missed a lot of shots that game. But I'm sure the discourse would have been Sam Kerr sucks, and she doesn't miss. She misses a lot of shots.
Didn't deserve to start. No.
But
yeah.
But she scored the one to go, and everyone goes, "Whoa, how good's the Tillies? How good's Sam Kerr?" That's awesome. So
it was great. Speaking of Sam Kerr, I served her at work the other day. Well, I say the other day. It was like 2 weeks ago. Yeah. Yeah. It was cool.
Was she nice?
Yeah, she was nice. She came in with like her whole family and stuff. Got a continental roll. It's classic. I didn't ask for her autograph or anything. I just feel like I don't know. I get nervous not to piss them off because I don't know. I want them to come back.
That's a good point. And you don't want people to like. I don't know. Everyone wants to ask them for an autograph.
Yeah, it's like goddamn. I just want to get some food.
Person.
Like, I feel for them.
Hopefully she does come back for your continental rolls.
I hope so. It's the second time she's come in. So yeah, I feel like we've got something, you know. No, not really. She's got no idea who I am. But.
Yeah, that's right. She used to pick up someone from our school. Do you know that?
No.
She used to pick up Letitia.
Oh, of course, because they played together at
Perth Glory.
Yeah.
But Sam Kerr's not playing at the Olympics.
No, she's not. ACL injury.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a problem with the women's football.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of knee injuries. So
that's disappointing.
I hope she recovers quickly. Yeah, it does suck that she's not going to be there.
But they still got plenty of other stars. Mary Fowler,
yeah, they've got a lot of good forward options.
Caitlin Ford, yeah.
And Hayley Razzo plays for Madrid.
Yeah. She signed for Madrid at the start of last season, didn't she?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool to have like Australians playing for like Madrid, Chelsea, City, Arsenal.
Yeah.
Quite a few at Arsenal.
Yeah.
Catley.
Yeah, Catley.
Ford and someone else does, I'm sure.
Yeah. Oh, it's exciting. Do you think they can go? I think in the Tokyo Olympics they missed out on the bronze medal.
Yeah, they made it to the semis.
Made it to the semis, lost to Sweden. And then I think it was Sweden.
And then Sweden.
And then they lost to America in the bronze medal game. Yeah.
And they're gonna have to beat. They have the US in their
and Germany
this time, and
yeah,
Germany.
It's really tough.
But the Olympics is also quite forgiving with their groups. 6.
Right.
So there's 4 groups of 3.
Yeah.
And 8. Oh no. Yeah. 3 groups of 4.
Yeah.
And so
top 2 go through.
And then 2 of the third places.
Yeah.
One third place misses out. So they've got Germany, who's quite good.
I think Germany are 4th in the world rankings.
I did see that, yeah.
And United States are 5th.
United States, yeah, and they're always pretty
But they're always good, yeah.
And then they've got, I think it's Zambia. So they're going to have to run up the score against Zambia. And I did see in their most recent game that professional game they beat Uzbekistan 10-0 Australia. So
yeah, okay.
They can run up the score with that attacking options, but they've struggled against the big sides recently. I think they've played Canada like 3 times in like the past 6 games or something.
Yeah.
They lost like 5-0 and the other results were much better than the 5-0 loss.
Yeah, okay. I remember from the last World Cup when they were playing, they don't really like pressing from the front, but they like to keep hold of the ball. But when they lose the ball, they're not crazy about winning it back.
No,
they play a bit of Southgate ball out of possession.
Yeah, well, I think it was because they don't. It was just gory. It was just kind of gory and Cooney cross in midfield. They could be by themselves a bit, and then. Because they were either trying to fit in too many defenders or too many attackers, and they took one out of the midfield. So then they probably got overran a bit there.
Yeah.
As much as those girls do a good job, but yeah, it's probably a weakness that they're not able to win the ball back and get those transition moments or keep the ball against the big teams at least. Yeah.
Is Zambia the first game, or are they playing?
I'm not sure.
I've forgotten.
I think they played the United States in the last game. So
okay, probably how you would want it, I think.
Potentially. I don't
Yeah,
know.
unless
We'll see. But yeah, they should get through the groups. Actually,
Yeah.
did you see England didn't make the Olympics?
No, do they not?
The English women's side, they won the last Euros
The Lionesses, yeah.
and they lost the World Cup final.
Yeah.
Didn't qualify for the Olympics.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Won't have any conflict of interest.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, it looks like it'll probably be you got Spain, Sweden. I think Sweden are in.
I think so.
Well,
think so.
Spain and United States and Canada will be tough for Australia to get past.
Yeah. But they'll be in the
and
mix,
Germany.
hopefully. Be good if they can go one step further and get a medal.
Yeah, well, they did well last time without Sam Kerr for the most part.
Yeah.
And I think even at the last World Cup, the one before that, Sam Kerr actually missed a crucial penalty. So they might not miss it that much.
I remember that actually. Yeah.
So, but I do think it was also on home soil the last World Cup. So I don't expect them if they make if they make the semis again, they've done very well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, the Tillies, hope they get to the semis. What do you reckon?
Yeah. All on board the Tillies boat. I've had enough of England. Let's get behind them. Hopefully they can go all the way. On the Olympics topic, I saw because we were talking about professional, like amateur sports and stuff. LeBron James just got named the flag bearer.
For the
United States. What do you think about that?
That's
cool.
That's all right.
It's
cool.
fine. I just feel like, I don't know. Yes, he's like the most famous athlete, but it just, I don't know. I don't really love having the NBA players playing.
Don't you?
No.
I love basketball at the Olympics. It's one of my favorite events. Problem is, the United States is way too stacked.
It's so stacked.
They almost lost to South Sudan the other day.
Yeah. They've been kind of scraping wins through, but they'll win the gold medal, I'm sure.
Yeah, I try to put it into football terms how good the United States team is.
It's like prime Guardiola, Barcelona team, right? Like 2010.
Yeah, it's like as if they've got like the top 5 leagues.
Yeah,
and they could just pick any player they want from the top 5 leagues, and no one else can pick them.
Pretty much. It's crazy. It's crazy. They actually played Australia, the Boomers, didn't they? Like a week ago.
Yeah, and the Boomers they did all right, but they started off poor.
Yeah.
Anyway, probably shouldn't be talking so much about basketball. It's the Olympic season. It's off season for football.
I know a lot of people have been wanting us to talk about transfers.
Yes.
So they can wait no longer. We'll finally talk about them. One thing which we've kind of both noticed so far is there's been less spending from the big clubs. Like, I don't know, last year Chelsea were going crazy. I can't remember if it was last season or the season before. Nottingham Forest went crazy and got 17 players. What's changed this time? There hasn't been that much activity. Obviously, the Euros have just been on, which is a factor.
Yeah, Euros and Copa America, so a lot of players don't want to change sides until afterwards, as you're alluding to. It is a bit of an interesting one. When I looked into it, I think teams have got given a few breaks with the profit sustainability rules because of COVID, and those breaks are now gone.
Yeah.
And I also think teams are getting a bit nervous because they saw Everton and Nottingham Forest get points deductions for not abiding to financial fair play, which is essentially where a percentage you can only spend on wages and players and coaches a percentage of your revenue. Yeah, you're not allowed to go too far above, and so I think a couple teams are a bit concerned about that. Chelsea are especially, and I think even Newcastle aren't, even though they've got all the money in the world to spend. They don't have the revenue to be able to use it. Yeah. So I think they were the two main things. And I think that as you're saying that every team was kind of going nuts with spending, it's kind of caught up to them.
Yeah.
A bit, so they're not as willing to spend as much.
I think that these rules, there's been financial fair play for a while. There's been PSR for a while, but they haven't seen anyone have penalties like they were last season. Like to actually see teams getting points deductions. It
Yeah,
was
it
kind
would
of
be-
like a reality check, like a wake up call. Like,
Definitely, 100%.
oh my god, these actually sanctions do actually bite. Like,
Unless you're Man City.
yeah, that's true. Oh my god, how many charges?
115.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if it actually counts the fact that Man City the thing that clubs think they're doing is they're lying about their sponsorship deals because they're from Saudi Arabia, and the theory is that they're from clubs. They think that they're saying that they're paying a lot more than what they actually would in a real sponsorship deal, and that means that their revenue's higher because their sponsorship deals are higher, so they can spend more money. So they're always like the most profitable team, which some clubs are dubious about, and I think that's not even part of the 115 charges.
Yeah.
So
I want to see Man City suffer. I do. Like, man.
They lost this morning to Celtic.
To Celtic? Yeah, I didn't see the score. What did it finish up?
4-3.
Yeah,
it's a
right.
preseason game.
Yeah,
I do want to see them actually suffer. No, we shouldn't say that. We're very, what's it called? Neutral.
Oh yeah, objective.
Objective
100%.
Podcasters.
That's true. I'm sure Jaden wouldn't be as objective if he was on here. He I think he hates Man City more than any man I know.
Yeah, no, I think he does. It's a little bit unhealthy.
Yeah, a little bit. Some notable transfers so far. I think Man United have probably spent the most.
Yeah, they got Lenny Yoro and looks like Xerxes.
Xerxes as well. Yeah, I think they spent about 90 million total on those two players, which is quite significant.
Because there was talks about that they didn't have a very big budget. So
yeah,
I wonder how they're going to raise the funds.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I mean, I think they've always been like the top dog in revenue, Man United.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not sure. It's interesting that we never really spoke about Ten Hag, that he actually kept his job after that.
And then he's now said that after he won the FA Cup final, and now he said that he's, besides Pep Guardiola, been the most successful manager or something since he came in.
Yeah, and since the 2 years he's been there, he reckons he's been the most impactful manager or something, which
he got a League Cup and FA Cup.
Yeah,
so.
it's like, good on you, man. I don't know. It was interesting. Like, obviously, they still trophies, and this FA Cup particularly is a big trophy. But I don't know.
Do you reckon Man United fans had a lot of fun in the 2 seasons? Like the first season, probably a bit. Do you reckon they had, even though they won the 2 trophies? Do you think you had more fun, or Man United fans? You had Conte for a season.
I think the last season under Ange was definitely more fun than Man United's, probably both seasons. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the thing.
I don't know. Yeah, it's not about winning trophies. We don't care about that.
Yeah, we don't care about that.
It's just about
just
vibes.
because City wins all the time. But if my team was winning all the trophies, then it's just about trophies.
Yeah. But I do think it's interesting that, like, you know, they were supposedly going to sack him before the final, regardless of the score. And then they win, and they stick with him. And not only do they stick with him, they give him a new contract. And now they've already spent 90 million on
Yeah, but I'm not sure if Xerxes really fits.
Yeah.
Well, not me. Suits Ten Hag, because Xerxes not a prolific goal scorer, and he played for Bologna, who are an extremely possession-based side.
Yeah.
And his main strength is how good he is with the ball, and being able to do those passes off, which is completely different to Højlund, who barely touches the ball, but gets in behind and shoots well when he gets to the chances. And Ten Hag prefers to play transitionally, where it's constantly going up and down quite fast. It's not really at Xerxes' pace, so it doesn't really seem like one for the manager.
No, maybe not. Spurs also got Archie Gray, the young Leeds talent.
I've heard he was playing centre back in pre-season, but he can also play left wing and centre mid. And
he'd play anywhere, mate.
So
No, I think his favourite position's in midfield, but he spent a lot of last season playing at right back as well, which he's pretty solid at apparently. And then in the first couple of pre-season games, Ange has been playing him at centre back, but I think that's more just as like we don't have anyone else there available. I mean, with Romero and is still recovering from Copa America.
Right. Yeah.
Van de Ven the same from the Euros. So
Dragusin might be resting from the Euros.
Probably, yeah. So it's probably. I think Skip
maybe
played at
Spain.
centre back as well. So it's kind of like whoever we've got, we'll just chuck in there. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, he seems good. I think I saw on Football Manager he was like the most transferred player in Football Manager.
Must be
24.
good. I love
so he has
Football
to be
Manager.
good. Yeah.
Well, like actual clubs do use the Hoffenheim back in the day scouted Firmino through Football Manager. So
Yeah, it's legit.
they're very good at scouting on there.
Yeah.
But it has been interesting. Someone else wanted me to talk about how there's been a lot of young transfers, and like Lenny Yoro will just talk about Man United's 18. Is Archie Gray 18?
Yeah, I think he's 18. Yeah.
And then Estavio is about the same for Chelsea.
Yeah.
So I think that's clubs trying to stay under the financial fair play rules by going for younger players they can develop. I think it's the rules also if you spent 3 years in England before you're 21, then you count as a homegrown player.
Yeah.
So if you get someone at 18, then they're there for 3 years. They're counted as a homegrown talent, and that means
they fill that quota.
Yeah, you can have a bigger squad for the Premier League and the Champions League. So clubs are being a bit tricky that they're getting Brazilians and Spanish players and all of that.
English, yeah.
And they're homegrown. Yeah. They're one of our own.
Yeah, exactly. No, it is interesting signing a lot of younger players, and I think there's been quite a lot of like swap deals as well.
Oh yeah, because then it's not money.
So
it's players instead to keep the transfer values down.
I think so. Yeah. Which used to see a lot of that on FIFA, but not so much in real life.
Yeah, you never saw it in real life. I think the famous one was Mkhitaryan for
Sanchez.
Yeah. And the conclusion was both sides lost from it.
It sucked for both teams.
Which is, really funny. No.
Remember at the time I was excited about that transfer. I was like, oh, yeah, this is going to be interesting. And
I was so disappointed Liverpool couldn't get Sanchez on a free. Actually, there's a bit of talk about the NBA is having a bit of influence on football.
Oh, going back to the NBA.
Back to the basketball. Yeah. So pretty much LeBron James in basketball would control where he'd go to. He'd never ask to be traded. He'd just wait till his contract runs out and then get lots of money. But players aren't traded for money in basketball. It makes even more sense in football to wait your contract out and then instead of like the Liverpool giving 50 million to, I don't know, Spurs to get, Ericsson. Ericsson back in the day.
Yeah.
Instead, they could just give them like 40 million straight to Ericsson on a free.
Yeah.
And then both the players happy and Liverpool's happy because they spent less, but then Spurs don't get any money. And Mbappe did that with
Madrid. Yeah.
With Madrid, he left on a free.
Yeah.
But it's not a very cheap signing for Real Madrid. They probably gave him 100 million sign-on bonus.
Yeah, exactly. It's probably insane.
So it's just PSG who lose out.
Yeah.
Have you heard about the French league actually?
No.
So they had a broadcast problem. The last one, their last deal, because some companies said that they'll pay them this much. Turns out they couldn't actually pay them that much.
Right.
And then so there've been a bit of financial issues in France.
Oh yeah.
And then PSG have lost Neymar, Messi,
and
Mbappe.
Yeah.
Right before the next deal. So we're like 2 months away from the season, or not even, and they haven't got a broadcast deal yet.
Oh no. Well, I say that, but
but it's going to be like the amount of money they're going to get is going to plummet from the last deal.
Yeah.
And the last deal didn't even work out too well.
No.
Imagine what it would have been if they had Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe still in the league.
No, that's true. Now no one's going to be watching it. Even with those three, I still didn't watch many of the games. I don't know about you.
No, I didn't watch a game.
No. Watch the highlights occasionally if I heard like someone scored a good goal or something. But
yeah, but still It's still big.
Yeah,
big.
no, it is.
It's actually Liverpool were looking at buying Bordeaux from League Two.
Yeah.
One of the main, so I should say Liverpool. Liverpool's owners are looking to buy them as part of the multi-club model. So a lot of teams look to have another lesser team, I suppose, that they can send their junk players to or develop players there. And one of the main reasons they didn't get Bordeaux was because of the instability of the French
Football
leagues.
League. Yeah.
So, yeah, no one's watching it. Don't watch France. We're not going to be talking about League One.
No, even if Osimhen goes to PSG, I heard they're trying to get him, but
yeah, he's nowhere near as big of a name.
He's not that good.
He's good, but it's not like I watch football to watch Osimhen.
No, I think that's fair enough. I don't think he'll be offended to hear that.
I hope not.
Yeah, I'm sure he's a regular viewer of the podcast.
Yeah, I think he's one of many.
Oh yeah. I feel like that's pretty much it. Have you got anything else to talk about?
Do I remember my quickfire questions?
Oh.
Do you have quickfire questions?
Well, no, I didn't.
Okay.
but I'll be happy to answer yours.
Okay, I'll see if I can remember them off the top of my head.
All right, hit me.
No, I'm struggling.
It's gonna be the most entertaining segment.
What sport the Olympics are you most excited for?
That's actually a good question, and I'm already saying way too many words. Oh no.
3, 2, 1. Answer.
100 meters sprint.
Nice. What's more embarrassing? Man United losing to Rosenborg, Liverpool losing to Preston North End, or Man City losing to Celtic?
I think Man United losing.
Man United losing.
Yeah.
Fair. Was Rodri deserving of Player of the Tournament?
Yeah.
Considering Lautaro Martinez won Player of the Season in Serie A, won the Serie A title, scored the winner in the Coppa Italia,
Should he get the Ballon d'Or?
and got the most goals and got the winning goal in the Copa America, is he in your top 3 for the Ballon d'Or? No. So it was a lot of words just to get to the no, wasn't it? A big build-up just for
It was pretty anticlimactic. I'm sorry.
You already had the answer halfway through as soon as it started.
So here we go. Yeah, you're doing really well, by the way. Remembering these questions.
I'm struggling now.
Firing him off.
Will France win? Oh, sorry, who's going to win the Women's Olympics?
Germany.
And quickfire questions are done.
Nice. Good stuff. I've got no. I'm not. Okay, I've got one.
Okay.
Did you enjoy The Acolyte?
Yes.
You did. All right. All the hate's going your way. No, it was okay. It's just, I don't know.
You can tell it's the off season, can't you?
Yeah.
Basketball,
Star Wars. Oh, you went through. Okay, here's another one. You watched all. How many Star Wars did you watch on Down South? 6?
4.
1 to 4. No.
Rogue One and the original trilogy.
Okay. Rank them in order.
Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
Return of the Jedi. Rogue One and New Hope.
Nice.
That was first to fourth. Do you have any qualms of those?
No,
those
I
picks?
think that's about right. I'm cautious of us going completely off track with this podcast.
Yeah, okay. Better wrap it up.
Better wrap it up.
Better wrap it up.
All right, guys. Catch you when did the Olympics start? When's the first game? Is it like tomorrow?
I think it's tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tonight. It's tonight.
Great. So
they start it early.
Next week we'll be back with some review of the Olympic Games.
I reckon we get started on Premier League preview.
Get into the Premier League preview. Yeah, should be good.
Yeah. Should be good. And Tillies.
And the Tillies, of course. All right, thanks for listening, everyone. Go rate the Spotify. I've done it again. I've done it again.
It's all right.
It's terrible. Rate the podcast 5 stars on Spotify.
Give it a like on YouTube.
Give it a like on YouTube. Share it with your friends. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Thanks for listening.